Hello everyone, welcome back to Information Communication Technology paper 332 for May June 2018. We're going to do data analysis or spreadsheet task. So let's go to task number 3 on page 5, and you are going to prepare a spreadsheet model to calculate the hire rental cost for a log cabin. All currency values are in dollars and 2 decimal places. So we have 2 points here to remember. All currency is supposed to be in dollar. I'm just going to highlight over dollar, and it's supposed to be 2 decimal places. So we remember those 2 points. Cabins can be hired by the day or by the week. Okay, this point can be helpful for us maybe later or not, but we have to keep it in mind. Open the files that is called booking.csv and cost.csv in a spreadsheet package and examine its contents. So let's open these 2 files. That's the first file, and the second file, which is cost. You can put the cursor here and it will expand all of it by clicking in between any of the columns. So let's check here, hired by day or week. So we have D or W. D must be for day, W for week. The cabin code is, we suppose might to be put it over here. The number of days and weeks hired. You're hiring cabinet at A with the rate of what, and the total cost must be appearing over here. And the next spreadsheet, okay, this has all the information. It has code, name, sleeps, cabin type, cost per day and cost per week. We have both cost per day and week. So how we can relate this, seems there will be some of the things that we will be depending over here, like for example the cabin code. It will be depending on the code over here. Hired by week or day, it will be depending, seems, on these numbers over here. Okay, so let's go and check the next question. So we examined, we got an idea about these 2 files. So starting with booking CSV, insert 3 rows at the top of the file, add text and formatting so that the spreadsheet looks like this. So let's go to booking file. We have to add 3 rows. This is the second and this is the third. And then we need to add this on the first line, and the second genuine log cabins in the heart of the Rockies. Okay, what it seems like from A till F, we need to merge them. So that's the first merging and second merging on the second line. So till F from here till here, and second row from here till here. Row number 3 seems just empty. Can shrink it a little bit. And then we can make this with the large font. This is a little bit smaller than the first font. Okay. Maybe the font, I'm going to keep it as it is. I'm just going to increase. And I might choose also this to be bold. This was 22, so I'm going to make this, I believe 16 is already enough, or maybe we can make a little bit bigger. Okay. And then we have to make it with the black shade and white text. So let's go to, okay, over here. Is that totally a black color? Yeah, this one. And with the white text. Great, it's looking like that. And then save a spreadsheet with the file name followed by center number and candidate number, for example, like this. Okay, when we're saving, we always remember that we have to save it with the format of the software we're using. So make sure you're saving in your working area. The name should be followed by center number and then candidate number. Yes, and then make sure it is in Excel format. If you kept it in CSV and if you use some formulas or function, later those formulas won't be saved and only the values will be saved. So be careful to make it in Excel workbook. It saves formula plus the value. Okay, just make sure it is saved in your working area. Here we go, it's saved over here. And then let's carry on to the next question. I'm done with this. Okay, evidence number 4. Take a screenshot showing cells from A1 till F11. So A1 is here till F11. From here till here, we want a screenshot, including the row and column headings. Place this in your evidence document. Okay, so let's go over here and let's take a screenshot, including the rows and headers till this much, and then that's going to be evidence number 4. And let's go to the next question. Question 15. Place your name, center number, candidate number on the right in the header. So it is the right side. On the header we have to put the information. So let's go to our this file. And let's click on view and click on page layout. You have the header here on the right side. Put your information. Place an automated field display on the left in the header, which is the automated today's date. So click on the left side and then go to insert, sorry, not insert, in design, and then you will find the today's date over here, current date. And place an automated file name. Okay, just only a file name without the path. Okay, which includes the file path as well. On the right side, in where? In the footer. So let's go to the footer, right side. Let's click on design. You can see file name and file path over here. We don't have any quick parts over here. Okay, good, we can add it from here. So what we can do, let me just have a look. Okay, so click on the file, first of all file name and then file path, and let's have a look. Is it working right now? Okay, no, we have to do it in the opposite way. So as you can see, the file name appearing first and then the path. So let's delete it and let's add it one more time. First path and then the file name will be included at the end. And let's have a look here. It's working. But the only thing that, as you can see here, okay, I don't need to add the file separately as the file is already included in the path. So no need for all this mess. I just simply can click on the file path. That's it, and it's added with my file name, as we can see over here. Okay, right, this is to the right alignment, and then that's it. So this is in the header and footer, and then we can close this window by clicking back again to view normal. What will happen, we can easily work back again. If you want to make it, to see it or modify it, we can go back to page layout, but it will be still there, only we're changing the view of the page or the layout of the page. For steps 16 to 22, for those coming steps, you may enter test data to help you create your model. So let's see. Restrict the data entry in cell B4 to only to be D or W. And then we have to put this as an evidence in a screenshot to show that how we restricted D or only W to be in it. So let's go to B4 and let's check in B4, which is over here. So we need only to enter D or W over here. So let's go in B4. By selecting B4, let's go to data, and over here in data validation, what we need to do, we need just only one. We need to allow only the letters T and W to be entered and got accepted, so that will minimize some of the errors. So let's choose list, and in the list we need to put D, comma, W, only both of this. Make sure if you put a space here that maybe can be created as a space with including W, so just put D and space, comma, W. Okay, as we click over here, you will see that we got to either D or W. In case you try to print something, you try to choose anything else on your keyboard, it will show an error message telling you that it is not matching. I also can leave it empty, but okay, I can erase it. So evidence number 5, take a screenshot of the method restricting the data. Let's go back again here, click on data validation, and we can take a screenshot for this one. And that's evidence number 5. The next question, enter formula in D9 to display daily if B4, which is right now, either will contain D or W. So they wanted to show daily if B4 is selected to D, and weekly if B4 is selected to W. So let's put it in D9. Let's go back over here in D9 over here. Depending on the selection happening here, we want to be appearing daily or weekly. So we're going to use a formula, which is if formula. So if the logical test says if B4 equal to, let's start with daily, then what will happen, then show us, oh sorry, not daily, if B4 is equal to D, let's say, then what to do, then make it to appear as daily. Otherwise, what will happen, it will appear as weekly. Okay, right now what's happening that it is blank, so yeah, let's put D, and it's happening daily, and if I choose W, then it's becoming into a weekly. Or we can choose from here and we can put it over here. What's happening that whenever it is blank, it is turning to weekly as a false value to do anything. And if I try to put any other value, it will show me an error message. Okay, let's go back again, and we're done with this part. Evidence number 6, show the formula that we used it in D9. So here's the formula. Let's take a screen capture and let's take it to evidence 6 and let's post it over here. Evaluate in your own words the restrictions you placed in B4 over here. Did I change? Okay, no, I didn't change it. So the evaluate in your own values about the restrictions that we did it in B4, suggest how these restrictions could be improved, and improve these restrictions in your spreadsheet actually. So we need to write it down in the evidence document, and we need to also apply it in the spreadsheet based on the evaluation and your suggestions. So evidence number 7 will be type your own evaluation, not using more than 100 words, and take a screenshot to show those improvements and place this in your evidence document. Okay, what are the problems here? That the first problem, we can say that even if we put a capital letter, it's not accepting, even though it is daily, or capital week or W, it's not accepting it. Another thing, the space is another issue, is considering it always as a weekly. We need to ignore the space and leave it as it is, whatever is the value in it. Okay, so let's solve those two things in these restrictions, and let's convert it into words in our evidence document. The first thing we can say, by ignoring the blank, we have to remove the tick from here. The second way is by putting also a capital letters over here to be included also in our source. So let's click on OK, and let's say if we click on D, so it's appearing as daily, and if I choose also W, whether small or capital, it's going to presenting the same. Same for small letter for D or capital D. Let me try it with W. So let's write down our evaluation and what did we solve right now. So we can say, let's check how many points we have here. We have around 4 points. So our evaluation, we can say that we used the data validation to restrict, first of all, the data entry. That's an explanation what we did. The data entry is restricted only to the list that we chose it to be used. What we did, so let me go back here. What we did, we chose only for the list to be selected over here. Second point, we can say the validation only depending or only caring for the lowercase letters, and it should actually also allow the uppercase letters. And the validation also creates some of the problems with the blank, so we should avoid that blank problems by, we will put it in the suggestion. Okay, so those are the evaluations. For the suggestions, you can say to list the source in the validation, we have to include also the list, to include the capital D and capital W, and we have to remove the tick from the ignore blank from over here to contain also no data in B4. And for the improvement, so let's take a screenshot, show them for the D and W is added, and ignore the tick removed from the blank. So let's take a screenshot for this and let's show it. So that's going to be evaluation number 7 or evidence number 7, and we need to put the okay. So number 19, enter a function in cell B9 to look up the name of the cabin using in another external file. So let's go to B9. Okay, so we need to look for the B9 for the cabin name over here, and it's supposed to be taken from the cabin name here, definitely depending on the code, and the code can be must be placed over here, and whatever will be added here, we can the name should be displayed over here. Okay, so let's use a VLOOKUP value, because all of them are here in a vertical way, so we're going to use vertical or VLOOKUP. And the value will be taken from over here, and the table array should be taken from an external file, which is without the title. We need to include it from here. I have this issue that it is not selecting or not referring back. So to solve this issue, what we can do, we have to close this. I need to save and try to open it from your file, from over here, from file and open, and then open it from here. That is going to definitely work. So let's write down the VLOOKUP again in B9. So VLOOKUP, the value will be taken from here, table array will be taken from here, and then comma. Actually, for the table array, we don't need to select the whole table. Selecting even the first two columns is enough, and we don't need to select all of it anyway. So column index, what I wanted to appear, which column should be appear, it is code is holding number 1, name is 2, so I want 2 to be appearing, so I'm putting number 2 here. And the range lookup supposed to be exact match with the exact word, so false. And let's close it. And okay, right now we need to put some of the testing data, as they told us we have to put some of the testing modules in the beginning of the question. Over here it was mentioned that for those steps we will be needing to create a model. So let's go and put a model over here. Let's say this will be D, and then here you can put any of the codes. Let's say B, and you will see the name is appearing over here. So B is supposed to be Breckenridge or something, I'm not sure, or K, Keystone. Okay, great, so it is working. And let's go and check the next part of the question. Enter a function in cell F9 to display appropriate cost per day. So we need to show the cost per day or per week for this cabin. So F9, we need to put a function over here for displaying the appropriate cost per week or day. So let's say we have here the cost per day or the cost per week. So let's use the formula or the function if over here, and then to look for the cost per week or per day, we have to refer to another external file over here. So in this case we have two options. In this two options we have to use if first of all. So let's go back to our file first in F9, mentioned in F9, yeah, okay. Then let's go to F9 and let's use if. So the logical test depending on if it is day or it is daily or it is weekly. So depending on the value over here. So first of all, if this is, let's start with daily. If this is daily, then what we have to do, we have to bring the values from here, the cost per day. Okay, how to bring the values? We have to use VLOOKUP. So to use VLOOKUP, let me go back again here. To use here VLOOKUP, oops, let me use lookup, and let's open the bracket for VLOOKUP, and let's say for VLOOKUP. So okay, I have a mistake here, that's why these values were not showing. So VLOOKUP, my value of VLOOKUP will have to bring the cost, right? So the cost will be depending on this code. So the value is coming from here, then comma the table array. I have to go right now to the table array. I need this column to be appearing, so I can highlight it from here till the end, or till here is enough. After that, put a comma. The next part, which column you want it to appear. I want this column, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want this fifth column to be appearing, so it's 5. The last one always false to be exact match. Close the first bracket for the red for the VLOOKUP. Then put a comma. that will take you to the false part of the if. So right now we're going to the the weekly part. So put another if, as I want to put three options, one for daily, one for weekly, and the third for the blank. Okay, so let's go back again and say again that if P4 right now equal to weekly, so what to do, comma, if the value is true, what to do right now, we have to use a VLOOKUP, and the value will be taken from here, comma, the table array will be again taken from this external file, but right now I have to include the last column, comma, over here, what is the common, this is the index, this will be 6, so comma, and the last one is false. Close it for the purple bracket for this one, and then we need to add one more thing, that if the value is false, so none of the values are selected, what we need to do, just keep it empty. Close the last bracket. Yeah, that's the if one. Okay, and then close this one and this one, and then let's check it. So I'm going to change the value over here. So I have a mistake here, let me, okay, why it's not appearing here, let me check. Okay, it's because here actually it's supposed to be not daily, it's supposed to be the code only, the D, and here also not the word weekly, so it is W, and let's press it and check it. Okay, so it is K value will be for the week, and it's going to be 418. Let's check for K. So if it is for K for the week, per week is going to be 418. If we change it to date, it will become 76. So it is changing, so it is working right now. Okay, so that was testing till question number 20. 21 says enter a formula in B11 to calculate the total cost of hiring this cabin. So let's go to B11. B11, we need the total cost for hiring the cabin. So B11 over here, for the total cost, it's supposed to be the number of weeks or days hired multiplied by the rate of hiring. So you can say, as it is mentioned here, it's supposed to be a formula. We have to calculate everything by ourselves without using any function. So this one multiplied by F9. So if we hired, for example, for 9 days, whether it is days or week, so it will be multiplied with this number, it will give us the total cost. So apply appropriate formatting to all cells. Okay, let's apply the formattings right now. As you can see, the total cost is a number, and any number or any currencies it's supposed to be, or any cost supposed to be in dollar and with 2 decimal places. Okay, let's apply this. Okay, we can just apply it from here, or we can say right click, format cell, currency, and we choose our currency from here, dollar and 2 decimal places, and then we choose the same. I'm going to do it the same way, dollar and 2 decimal places. Here we go. After that, okay, we're done with the formatting. Save and print the spreadsheet showing the formula, and make sure that it is a landscape orientation. That's the first point. Row and columns headings are displayed, and the contents of all cells are fully visible. So let's go over here and let's go to file, print. Before that, let's make the formula to be showing the formula. Probably we can make this as a wrapping text. it doesn't matter. Anyway, let's go to maybe we can put it like this. Nope, still not working. Okay, and let's go to File, Print. So first of all, change it to landscape orientation, and then make all the columns and headings to be displayed. So let's go to Page Setup, Sheet, and row and column headings are displayed. And then the contents of all cells are fully visible. That means the formula shouldn't be like incomplete or partially not visible. Okay, everything is visible, and there's nothing that it's supposed to be fully visible. And then print out and make sure your center candidate number is visible over here. And one thing also not to forget, that they didn't mention to us it's supposed to be on a single page, so it's alright to be on 2 pages. Otherwise we have to make it to fit only on 1 page, and the formula will become too small and difficult to read. So just made it back again to 100% and print the paper. So that will be our first printout. After that, enter the, so we were in the testing till 22. After that, right now we have to enter the data to a book cabin with the code G. So let's go to code G, and let me just close the formula. So let's go to formula, and okay, I made it invisible, and let's put the code to be G over here, right? And then the weekly rate for 2 weeks, so that means it is supposed to be weekly. That's the first thing. And the second thing is supposed to be for 2 weeks, so I have to change here to 2. After that, print the spreadsheet showing the values. Make sure the printout fits on a single page and the contents all fully visible. So let's go right now to print. Okay, and we have to make everything visible, so I believe it is fitting everything. There is also no part saying to make the heading and rows visible, so let's go and remove the lost tick over here. Okay, and then that's going to be our that is just entering the data. Okay, then print the spreadsheet, make sure of those things. That's going to be our second printout. For 26, change the booking to book cabin with B for 3 days. There's nothing saying to change the today or weekly, so let's go back again here. So we need to change to B and for 3 days. Okay, it's clear here. It is for days. So that means this will change to D. And that number will be 3. So print the spreadsheet showing the value and make sure the printout single fits again on the single page and all the contents are visible and your name and things are also visible on it. So that's the second printout. That's the third printout. Let's check it. File, print, and here we go. We don't need to adjust anything. It's fitting on one page and that's it. After that, save and print your evidence document. Evidence document will be the last printout for printout number 4. And let me check. Okay, that was the last question. Okay, I hope you got all the questions and answers, and see you in the next paper.